Hi, I'm Dr. Ruhling and here to welcome you to a seminar that's designed for positive lifestyle. Awaken the Doctor Within You is the title of this one. A body is designed for self-healing. We see here in this picture a graphic that illustrates Dr. Breslow's 7 simple health habits. He was at UCLA when he followed Alameda County residents for as long as 35 years. And he found that 7 simple health habits resulted in a 30-year difference between those who broke all 7 compared to those who observed all 7. And we might wonder which one we're going to look at. One of the questions that Dr. Breslow asked was, how much water do you drink? The healthy subjects who lived longer drank 5 to 6 glasses a day. And you can see this lady here drinking a glass of water. Water is a solution for body problems. Our bodies are about 3/4 water. And all the reactions in the body occur in a fluid medium. We might not think about it that much, but fluid bathes the eye. It moistens the air on the way to the lungs, or our lungs would dry out. Fluid enzymes digest our food, and nutrients are absorbed into a fluid bloodstream that carries them to the body cells, which are 3/4 fluid. And fluid is needed for temperature control. So that's a lot of water. Some people think they don't want to work their kidneys, but think of the housewife who's trying to wash her dishes, and the more water she uses, the easier it actually is. So we want to encourage people to drink more water to clean the inside. Here's an interesting question on how water is related to the conquest of the world's highest mountain, Mount Everest. The Swiss put a crack team within a few hundred yards of the top, but they were overcome with fatigue and just couldn't go further. And so the British studied the record of the Swiss failure, found they were only drinking 2 glasses of water a day. And Hillary and his British team ordered extra snow melting equipment to drink 12 glasses of lemonade a day. And the result is history. They were successful in conquering the world's highest mountain. Sometimes we're like Linus on the inside, who just need a good cleaning. And just think of how good it feels to be in the shower with hot water. Giving our internal cells, though, a bath is also a clear choice. When you go to the hospital, one of the first things they do is to start an intravenous, and sometimes that's all that's necessary for the person to start feeling better. An ounce of prevention for drinking it, so much easier and better to drink it by mouth than to get it by vein. What's the diagnosis here? Well, in this picture, you see the man reading the paper. He's obviously in no hurry, must be constipated. And if we would drink more water and eat foods with fiber, those 2 things will solve our constipation problems. So, in fact, I could tell you the story of a physician friend, American doctor, went to a mission field, and the Oni of Ife came to him in a Rolls Royce wanting this American doctor to fix his problem. Constipation. My doctor friend said, how much water do you drink? Never drank the stuff. Well, the prescription was water. And he left a disappointed person, thinking this American doctor didn't know what he was doing. But a week later, he came back all smiles, saying it's magic. The African eats a high fiber diet, and all they need is water for the water to absorb into those fibrous foods to produce a nice bowel movement. How would water help asthma or emphysema? It helps to dissolve the mucus plugs that get in the bronchial tubes. And we might wonder how much water is needed. Cecil Loeb, the internal medicine textbook, says up to 1 gallon a day for people with obstructive pulmonary disease. So it helps to liquefy those mucus plugs. Could water help or be a problem for people with kidney stones? Yes, it could be either way. It's a trick question. Because if you have high calcium in your water, and most stones are calcium, you'll be making more stones. So it's better to be drinking distilled water. Commercial water softeners are not good because they exchange calcium for sodium, and that is a bad problem for high blood pressure or heart failure. Water can help the heart. If we drink more, we'll be less likely to myocardial infarction, and that's a plus. True or false, water with minerals like calcium are good for health? Well, it's actually better to get our minerals from our food. Fewer persons with soft water at home died from arteriosclerotic heart disease, because the calcium embeds in the cholesterol and makes those arteries harder. That's what the word arteriosclerotic means, hardening of the arteries from calcium in the water, but also cholesterol. How can you tell if you had hard water? Look at the ring around the bathtub. If when you get out, you have a ring there, that's calcium, and you have hard water. Can you use this for illness? Yes, you can. If you, here's a personal story that I had. Working in the emergency room in Southern California one evening, I noticed I was getting sick with a scratchy throat, runny nose, headache, kind of ached all over, felt chilly. I took my temperature, it was normal. They taught us in medical school that a lot of viruses are killed or arrested with fever. And here I am, a sitting duck, wondering what I can do to get a fever. And I took a break, filled a tub in the hospital with very hot water. Usually I like a hot tub bath, but this was uncomfortably hot. But in 20 minutes, I had a fever of 102.5. And I said, hooray, I can quit now. And as the water was running out, I poured cold water front and back, because they taught us that a contrast of hot and cold will double your white blood count. And so that brings the soldier cells out. I didn't eat any supper, so I knew they would be hungry. You know, if we overeat with too many sweets and goodies, like in the Christmas time and the holidays, that's when the flu comes. But fasting, I didn't eat anything that evening, just took the hot and cold bath. And about 11 o'clock, I recognized it had done me good, so I did it again. And in the morning, I had no symptoms. That my flu was aborted. It was all gone. So, good thing. Your body has many cries for water. It could be colitis, rheumatoid arthritis, back pain, neck pain, high blood pressure, overweight conditions, asthma, allergies, and depression. All of these can be benefited by drinking more water. As we get old and older, we tend to get dried up like a prune, and we don't drink as much water as we should. Water helps the joints, as you can see here. It's held in the cartilage as a lubricant. And it's very important for low back pain, because the fifth lumbar needs more water to make it as a cushion for the cartilage. Water helps the stomach and the duodenum, especially if you have ulcer problems. Drink more water. It will help to dilute those ulcers. And how would you use water as a remedy, and why? Here in this case, this person's overweight. The hunger center and the thirst center in the brain are very close, and we just, if we drink more water, we would be less hungry. And this was especially true of using hot water before meal times. If you drink hot water, you have less of an appetite, and you will be less likely to overeat. So how much water do we need? About 6 glasses a day for most people, weighing about 150. Another glass for every 25 pounds over that. And if you're vegetarian, you get a benefit, because your kidneys don't have to do as much work on a vegetarian diet. Drink hot water 20 minutes before the meal, and cold water between, not during those meals. And so you get the idea here. This is what we should do. That's the prescription. And water is best. Don't accept any substitutes. They often replace water that have adverse effects. And let him that is thirsty come, and whosoever will, let him take of the water of life freely. Even the Bible uses the example of water as a water of life. We've just seen many benefits that water has for the body, both inside and out, and there are other remedies that we should consider to live well and in balance. We've looked at some of them here. We want to get a new start. It stands for nutrition, exercise, and water is what we focus on here. We'll look at some of the others another time. But here's my favorite author. This is actually from a Time magazine ad. And she got the President's Award for Uncanny Medical Insights. The book that she wrote on health and happiness was called Ministry of Healing, and one of the quotes was that pure air, sunlight, abstemiousness, which means abstaining from harmful things, and moderation in things that are good, rest, exercise, proper diet, and use of water. That's what we've been talking about. Trust in divine power. These are the true agencies. Every person should have a knowledge of nature's remedial agencies and how to apply them. Tomorrow, you won't remember half of what we've covered today, but the important thing is that good health will be just as real. So to help in a significant way, please read the book that you got with this program, It came with the CD set. It's the finest book ever written on the topic, and its rich insights will help you live well. This is the book, Health and Happiness, and Dr. Agatha Thrash, a pathologist, actually she and her husband were atheists, graduates at Emory, but when she read this book, they both changed their lives, changed their practice of medicine. In fact, this book was responsible for a $10 million gift to the university where I taught, because it was founded by the author. So anyway, and one more thought on this. Dr. Clyde McKay, professor of nutrition at Cornell, was amazed that the author did not incorporate the fads and fallacies of her day. She was able to induce a substantial number of people to improve their diet, and he wrote a 5-page review ending with saying, "No better overall guide is available today." So anyway, thank you for considering this. May God bless you till next time. Thank you.